Hey everybody, and welcome to the Ladies in the Living Room. You got Laura and Kristen here, live from the living room. It's the BravHos, because we ho for all things Bravo, but we also ho for reality TV in general, and we have a few things to talk about before we get to the full recap of this week's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. So let's go. What's up, my friend?
What's up with you? I'm good.
All right, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
Before
we do.
we get to Jersey, let's just do a quick reality roundup of what
Yep.
went on. The first thing that I'm busting at the seams, I'm not only busting, I'm bursting at the seams. Something about her, okay? Diane Keaton, the legend, the
Yes.
rom-com queen.
Yes.
Annie Hall showed up at Something About Her.
She did. I saw.
I can't.
I know.
Standing there posing with Katie Maloney's mommy.
Yep. So cute,
So
right?
cute. Katie's mom is so cute.
She's so cute.
Wait, but I'm thinking that probably Katie and Ariana probably weren't there.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Ah.
Yeah.
But
So
wait,
Mama
to have
was there.
Diane
but-
Keaton in. First of all, she did walk in, and you mentioned this last week, so you're way more on top of it than me. You said they have a sandwich named after her.
Yes.
And
The
do you know-
Diane.
Do you know what the Diane is?
Tell me.
I read it today. I'm very excited to talk about it.
Okay.
It's a tuna, but in a Sicilian style, which is Italian. So it has olive oil. You know, us Italians, we have to put olive oil in everything. We do.
Everything.
Even wear it as a little bit of cologne on the back of the ears. Or put a little olive oil.
Yes.
Olive oil, something like capers. I don't know, something.
Okay.
But she ordered her sandwich.
Her sandwich,
I
named
think is-
after her.
But how iconic is that?
Yeah.
This is how Vanderpump Rules really has launched. They've been in the stratosphere, but now, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned, they are as high as you can go.
Yeah. It's gone to another level.
Diane Keaton.
Diane Keaton walked in there.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Annie Hall.
Annie Hall.
But
Miss
she's the
Annie
queen
Hall herself.
Right, and she's the queen of all those rom-coms. She's the queen
Yep.
of like what they were going after, the Nancy Meyer movies.
Yes.
The AKA the coastal grandma. And they had the production designer, as we've mentioned before, from all of those movies.
Yes.
Come in there, and they said they wanted it to be a little bit of California country and like a European vibe. They wanted a little bit of Nancy Myers and a little bit of them, and I think they got that. But holy crapola!
Holy crap.
And she even wore a hat.
Yeah. She looked like her typical Diane Keaton style.
Typical Diane Keaton.
And she looks great, by the way. She doesn't change.
She never ages.
She doesn't age.
This woman is,
She's got to be in her late 70s, I
if
would
not
say.
80 at this point.
Oh, my God.
Because those are
Wow.
her, all her peers, like the one who's married to Ted Danson, Mary Steenburgen, and
Yeah.
Jane Fonda. Like, these are her peers.
These
and
are
they're
her
all
peers.
into that. Rita Moreno, who's
Yeah.
90
Goldie Hawn, all of them.
Anyway,
Yep.
that had to be mentioned.
Yes.
That is about as iconic as I think it gets.
Oh, my God.
And it had to be mentioned up top. I
Of
felt
course.
it should be mentioned.
Absolutely.
We felt it should be mentioned.
Yes. Yes. Makes
All
me
right.
want to go there even more
Oh my
now.
God, I'm dying.
I'm dying.
And
yeah.
this
I
week-
wonder if the line is going to be like it was when it first opened,
I think
right?
I think the
It kind of died down
the
a little
newness
bit with
will wear
that.
off.
The newness
However,
will wear
this Thursday, I believe we're doing this on a Tuesday. This Thursday
Mm-hmm.
is the Jax, Schwartz, and Sandoval pub crawl,
off. Okay, right.
starting at, I think it's 50 people.
Yeah.
Apparently, Schwartz and Jax put together like gift bags. Really, Schwartz did it all. Jax was just sort of there and put shit in bags because we know Jax is
Poor
not.
Schwartz. They
we
made
know
him do
Jax
all the work.
is not doing anything that would do anything other than just some,
Yes.
He's like some grunt work, like throw the Skittles in the bag.
Like, yeah,
you
do it.
Yeah, but apparently they're getting hats that Schwartz designed. I heard it on Jax and Britany's podcast.
Yeah, I listened to it too, and I heard them talking about it. Yeah.
I know. I love Britany now because she's so sassy with him. She's just calling him out.
Oh, she
left
is.
and right.
Yeah, she's the
Well,
best.
since
and
we're
I could
talking
listen
about
with her accent alone. I can listen to her all day long.
Yeah,
I love that
Because why the
accent.
cameras come up? Well, while we're talking about them,
Yeah.
let's just, even though it was just about a week ago,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Valley finale and the Jax and Britany conversation at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
What Jax, freaking Jax. Remember when they'd say, "You got Jax"?
You got Jax.
She got so Jax.
She did.
And he's pulling the same shit that he has pulled since season 1, episode 1.
That man
He's
does
mentally
not
ill.
really change.
Are you kidding? This guy is such
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Jack is the classic narcissist. You know, people always use the term gaslighter.
Yes.
He is your absolute 100% narcissistic gaslighter. Because Brittany's like, be real, Jax. What are you being so calm for? She's saying to him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, normally you'd be screaming all over the place at me. And he's like, well, Brittany, that is classic narcissist. Make you feel gaslighting.
Yes.
Make you feel like, am I crazy? Was this man not just yelling at me 2 minutes ago? And now he's like, it's okay. And then I love that she called him out. Mm-hmm. I love that she called him out about the therapist.
Oh, I know. She's like, did you just make an appointment because we were filming today?
She's like, because camera's coming up tomorrow. So, and then she's like, and I love it. She guaranteed. She's like, I guarantee he won't go. Cut to Jax. So did you go? Because did you go? Mm-hmm. No, I didn't go. Why? And the producer goes, why? Because you were afraid to go? Mm-hmm. And he's like, and it was really far.
That's
Malibu.
a good reason.
No, it's not a good reason. And Malibu, yes, Malibu is really far. But Jax, you live in the valley.
Yeah.
You don't want to get on PCH to go up, if I was Brittany, to go to a therapist. There's got to be many, many therapists in the valley. Mm-hmm. Because it's Los Angeles, where everybody has at least 2 therapists.
There's a therapist around every corner. Are you
Come
kidding
on,
me?
I lived in LA for 11 years. There's therapists
especially
on therapists.
There. Yeah.
So
I know.
that whole I thought
pretty lame excuse.
I just like Brittany just feeling herself and
I
going, will go.
Empowered. I would say Brittany is empowered now that she
thank
left.
God.
Absolutely.
But I hate the fact that she had to go. And she's like, you took away my safe space.
Yeah.
And by the way,
yeah.
Do you know why he said that she left? I can't believe he actually admitted this. He said, Brittany does better than I do. Okay. So, Jax, are you trying to say that Brittany
is the breadwinner?
Makes more money than you? I'm sure she does, because she got, like, he mentioned on House of Villains, which I actually tuned into, but then I couldn't take it and I had to stop, because I told you I've gone very deep. I've watched.
I didn't do House of Villains.
Listen, I watched.
He'd be a perfect villain.
And I told you I watched Farmer Wants a Wife.
I know.
I went so far in. I've gone so far down.
I would go there.
It's bad, Kristen. It's so bad. But I had to stop that too.
We're all things reality.
But on House of
what
Villains,
are you gonna do?
He mentions to this guy, I forget his name. Mm-hmm. But he said, Brittany, my wife is crushing it. She made $2 million on those Jenny Craig.
Yeah, the Jenny Craig, right.
Come on, $2 million's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's
Jax.
not.
Jax.
I have my own money.
I
can take care of myself
That's
and
right.
my son.
And she was Brittany still is gorgeous. I don't want to
get
get on her looks,
gorgeous.
but she really just needs to take those boobs down a little bit. They sort of have their own zip code at this point. Like, I think she's going to do it.
They enter the room before she
does? They very well do at this time.
Yeah, but doesn't Jax like that voluptuous
Yeah, but she
kind
said
of thing?
she wanted them, so I kind of will believe her.
Okay.
And I'm not. She's a beautiful woman.
She really
I
is.
am not. But
she's beautiful.
She does need to stop with the surgeries now. Mm-hmm. She's gorgeous. Please, Britt, you're a beauty.
Yeah, I know she is. She does no more of that.
No more, Britt.
And really quick, what was it in the very first episode of The Valley? She had something done
she
with her chin.
Okay, because you've seen Mamaw, right? Mamaw. Mamaw has like a turkey gobbler.
Okay.
She's got like 3, like a turkey on a turkey on a turkey.
Okay.
And Brittany's like, my whole family has the gobbler and the turkey neck.
Okay.
And I didn't want it. I was starting to get it.
Okay.
So she had that done. She had lipo.
Oh, she had lipo.
And she was
there.
like, I'll never live that down. That's why I had the thing around my head.
The thing around. She was saying something about her mouth.
No,
was
her mouth went
down or affected.
She looked like
or
the
something.
emoji. Like her mouth. You saw it. I mean, her mouth went completely like.
But she's still beautiful.
She's still
even
gorgeous,
with that.
Britt. We love
she's still
you.
Gorgeous, Brittany.
I am. Woman.
I would say out of
wrong.
every member of the Valley, every cast member, she was my favorite.
I love her.
I really love her. Yeah,
she's a dolly.
And even though we love to hate him, Jax is an integral part of that show.
I
mean, I know. It's like if he wasn't in the Valley, it wouldn't be the Valley. So we need him. We just hate him.
Does
that make sense?
The only word that literally and forgive me, but the only word that comes to mind, 2 words: douche canoe. That's what I think of when I think of Jax right in hell.
And can I say
Raw
something?
inhale.
Raw inhale. Can I say one other thing
Please,
about that?
you can say
the
two other
one
things.
right behind him who could kind of be a douche a little is Jesse.
Kind
Now,
of. Oh, Jesse's the giant.
and
He's another douche canoe number 2.
I felt for him, right? I felt for him in the finale. I did a little bit. I mean,
I have
you
a
know,
hard time
Michelle
feeling for
wanting
him.
the divorce, really being steadfast on it, and I want out.
And by the way,
you kind of felt for him a bit.
Yeah, by the way,
yeah,
another douche canoe number 2 because he kicked her. I mean, she left
She
the house
left the
because
house.
he wouldn't leave. And I'm
'Cause
like,
he
if
wouldn't
Jax
leave.
and this
Oh.
guy aren't so well suited for each other,
Yeah.
I don't know who is. Who
he must have
makes their
gotten.
wife?
Who gave advice to who? They must have given advice to each other. We're not leaving the house. The
Those
ladies have to
two
leave.
are made for each other. Go.
Go.
Go be together. Go do your douchery wherever you need to do it.
However,
me.
for season 2,
to
I
me.
definitely wanna watch them again. I want to see where they are.
Yeah.
Jesse, Jax, the whole thing. So,
Of course, and there's gonna be a season 2.
and there's going to be a season 2. And actually, I heard it's going to start filming soon.
And you know what? I'm kind
So-
of glad they didn't do a reunion. Let's let them
Yeah.
kind of fade from our memory a
Yeah.
little bit, and
Yeah.
then let's get them back, and we'll be psyched to see them. Like,
Oh.
all right, let's
Yeah.
see what's going on. They've already, both of them have new boyfriends. They're already.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
she's got a new boyfriend. He's got a new girlfriend.
Yes.
They're already back and forth with. We saw the whole bit.
We saw the whole thing. They
So
showed it.
she's living close by, and they don't live in the valley, by the way, because that would never.
Yeah.
I lived in Los Angeles for 11 years when I was a comedian and actress myself.
Right.
And, the valley is considered a little bit more lowbrow than you said Beverly Hills, even though the valley is beautiful and you still have to have millions of dollars to live there.
Yeah, because
Also-
it does look very beautiful
It's
there.
very nice, but here's the problem.
Yeah.
The problema with the valley is it's freaking hot.
Hot.
It is hot. It's hotter than a witch's tit in a brass bra sitting on an oven. I mean, it is hot.
Okay.
And it's not, it's not ideal. The ideal is to live over the hill, live in Beverly Hills, live in Brentwood, live in Homely, any of these. So Jesse would never put himself beneath
yeah.
to live
Uh,
in the valley. So
Yeah.
it just, the minute I heard that he lived by the Chateau Marmont, which is off Sunset Boulevard,
oh, okay.
I'm like, of course.
Of course.
It's sort of in Hollywood, of course.
yeah.
So,
right.
all right,
Him,
we've
him with
we've
his
talked.
5-hour dinners. What
yes.
was that about?
Oh, and he does his Friday dinners.
And the wine and
It's
the
like,
whole thing.
what do you think, you James Bond? Well,
yeah.
I don't know who you think
He's
you are.
originally from Boston, I think.
I mean,
Anyway.
I hate that I'm giving him trouble, but if you want to be like Mr. Highbrow,
Yeah, he's Mr.
let's
Highbrow.
get to an orthodontist. And I hate to be so but let's work that out. Whatever that is, we need to work it. Okay, Jess? We need to work it out. I'm not saying, I'm perfect, but
he could lose the headband,
if
too.
you want to be that, then
Yeah.
be that. You know what I'm saying? Just get them all ripped out and go to get your veneers.
Get your
And
veneers.
let's work that program.
Okay,
all
a
right?
little bit.
All right,
yeah.
I'm taking a
I know
sip
he
of the
was a
vino.
model back in the day. He was a model with Anna Nicole
I
Smith.
gotta say, and he also slept with her during the trim spot.
Yeah, they
days.
had a little tryst.
They had a tryst in the trim
I
spot.
know.
Remember Bobby Trendy? You
Yeah.
Remember? I remember going in with my brother to Bobby Trendy's boutique on Melrose because when he was on,
Uh,
we're going back to the Anna Nicole show. What a show!
No, I watched that show. I
Pink
loved
strawberry
that show.
quick.
Oh, she was the best.
She better take that trim spot. She was drinking that pink strawberry quick.
Well, that's what their ad was, right? There was a trim spa ad. That was what he was in
Yes,
the ad
yes.
with her on,
It
right?
was, she was popping these pills. And, I
Yeah.
mean, talk
Okay.
about a stunner. But we're not.
Yeah,
we're
I know.
going way far.
We're
back
going
down the
way
hole.
back, yeah.
Where are we heading now? So we talked about a little bit. We wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
How about we talk a little bit about the Summerhouse?
Let's talk about it because that was it was a very good reunion. I'm very much looking forward to number 2, right? Reunion 1. I'm sorry, part 2.
You know,
we
what I
did
like?
part 1, and it was good.
You know
it
what I
was a
like?
little bit of an eye opener.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you why it was an eye opener.
Yeah,
They all came out with those bare midriffs. I was like, shit.
those ladies were looking
What?
hot.
And there's not one.
Every
there,
one of
as Andy
them.
Cohen, I think Andy said there's not a dud in this bunch. Like,
No.
woof.
No.
Hello. And then I do like that Lindsay said, well, I painted mine on her abs. And I was like, all right, one for Lindsay. I like that she was like,
Yeah, I
even
love
though she's got a great bod. But Ciara, it was like, damn.
Oh my! She came out smoking hot, and
West
West was kind of like
face.
his eyes popped out when she walked out. Like, whoa!
I know. Oh,
I gave this one up.
But I do want to
He's
mention,
crazy.
I do want to mention
Yeah.
that West, his outfit, He looked like he just walked out of a scene on Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, he did.
Remember the movie Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah,
with
like a beach bum.
The shoulder pads and the suit when he died. I'm like, what is with these shoulder? Like,
what?
I know we're trying to. He shouldn't be in the same suit as the rest of them because he is cool and he is different. But
and he's chill.
Who did West piss off in the wardrobe department? That was bad.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
I
he
was
didn't
like,
look so
Weekend at
great.
Bernie's.
Yeah.
Don't start.
Exactly. And what about his hair? I don't know.
His hair
I
looked
wasn't
like
digging.
dog
I
do.
wasn't digging the way he looked.
I
at
didn't
all.
like the way he looked either.
No.
And well, first getting back to Carl and Lindsay, here's my one statement.
Okay.
I want to hear what
Yeah.
you think. My
Yeah.
statement is, I'm so sick of hearing these two. I'm so sick of hearing their shit of the same, that I wasn't ready, and I felt Paulie said, oh, no, you weren't. And then he yelled at me, and then he was in the room asleep, and then we did all, and I really did, and then Carl, I really didn't want it to end. I was just I didn't really know. Like, I'm so tired of hearing 20 different recounts.
Yeah, I am too.
Of the story.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Enough.
guys. But I did also want to mention
Yeah.
that I was always more Team Carl than Team Lindsay. But,
Yeah.
but I will say, I don't think that we are seeing the real Carl. I think there are two Carls.
I think there's two Carls.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yes.
And I read that Captain Lee, Below Deck Captain Lee.
Yeah.
Captain Lee Stud of the Sea. Who
Yeah.
I loved. I'm madder than a pissed on chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, I freaking love it.
We love him.
Oh, Captain Lee. Anyway, love him. But he was Carl and him Captain Lee had his son pass away from drugs. He has Carl had his brother. They had this really beautiful, nice, supportive friendship.
Yeah.
And then apparently Captain Lee was like, I had him on my podcast. He wanted to see all the questions first. I gave him all the questions that I thought were softball questions. If he didn't like a question, I took it out.
Yeah.
Then Carl said he didn't like the episode, so I was happy enough to scrap the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently he called Captain Lee up and was like, you tried to deceive me, blah, blah. And Captain Lee was like, what? Like, no, not at all. And I really believe Lee.
I believe it
a
too.
stand-up. I mean, he's Captain Lee.
He's
Come
Captain
on,
Lee.
Cap. So I just think that there's...
If he's putting it out there, I think it really did happen. He's that, and it is in the news.
Captain
it's a thing
Lee
in the
is
news
not
right
starting
now.
shit.
No,
I
he's
mean,
not
this
starting.
Is Captain
no.
Lee here.
Yeah, yes.
This is a man that has a life and a family and real stuff going on and a real person. He's not stirring the pot. So I just want to say that I think that when I was more Team Carl, now I'm like, you know what, Lindsay, I'm not a huge Lindsay fan, but I definitely think that Carl is not all he's cracked up to be.
I agree. I think it seems to me that he's image conscious.
Yes.
And here's one thing, and
Very
I know I
much.
said last week, I did say it, I'm more Team Carl. Here's one thing I really like about Lindsay. What you see is what you get.
Yes.
And you really got to appreciate, it's like a Lala thing. Like a lot of people aren't wild about Lala.
In your
But
face.
Lala is Lala through and through.
Yes, she is.
And you kind of love her for that.
Yes,
you
no
do.
excuses.
And I think Lindsay is very similar like that.
Agreed.
So she's not hiding anything. She's not pretending to be something when she's really not. She's got it all out there. And some people will go, oh, what is she saying? This is crazy. What's going on? But
Agreed.
I think that I appreciate her for that.
I do
so
too.
I'm kind of liking Lindsay a little bit
I
more.
am too. Exactly.
know,
I don't think she's an all bad person. I
don't
just
think
think
so.
she's very forward, very direct, she's agitating. Like she's when she gets activated.
She gets
as she
activated.
Said, she's activated.
Yeah.
And don't ask her to be soft.
Yeah.
Because she's not soft.
Because that's not who I am.
Carlito, as she called him. So, and then West.
Oh,
West.
what a disappointment.
Yeah.
But I kind of wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't either. 'Cause
I
West
wasn't
was
up
the
on it.
golden
I
boy.
thought they were like together right
West
now.
was the golden boy.
Yeah, he
was the golden boy of the season. I fell
was.
in love with West so I know why Ciara fell.
Yeah.
Ciara? No, Ciara. I know why Ciara fell in love with him.
Yeah.
He's funny, effort, as Jesse Solomon said on the reunion, effortlessly cool.
Oh,
And
yes.
that is what he is. He's a total, my
He
favorite.
kind of exudes it.
He does. My favorite part of him,
Yeah.
but then he's such a ding-a-ling. I love that when he took Ciara out on a date in the restaurant in New York, he's sweating to death. He's like, isn't it hot in here? And he's just pouring sweat. And he's out with hottest model,
Oh, God.
Ciara.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
He's spoken out after
Yeah.
the reunion. He's basically said, like, in real time, it seemed that it was very kind of mutual, and she didn't really say any of this. And I think Ciara, listen, West is a fun out guy, outward, funny, social, cool, friends. Ciara is buttoned up, closed off.
Yeah.
I got a good friend vibe from them. I did not see any chemistry between them.
Not really. I know what
Ciara
you're saying.
needs, like,
yeah,
someone who is going to
yeah,
worship. She needs an older guy who's going to worship her for the queen that she is.
yeah, that she deserves. Yeah.
West got wrapped up in.
Well,
He was like the Bravo fan base, you know, is all women.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure they all did it the first season.
Yeah.
Girls and guys.
Yeah.
You don't think Danielle was like, hee-haw, ride it, Charlie. Like,
well, you know, yeah,
this is
because
the man's
Wes
first season.
is not serious, right?
Correct.
He's just not
and he's
serious.
another one. Is he
She's
serious?
looking for someone who's fun, I think, but
Of
is
course.
serious about.
And she's very closed off. You can tell she's very
she
hurt.
She got hurt last.
Very vulnerable. But I think it goes
Yeah.
back to even further as like daddy issues.
Probably.
Back. I think
She
even
brought that
said
up, I
that.
think.
Yeah, she
She
said
did.
it.
Yeah.
So she's very tender, and you
Yeah.
gotta love her for it. And I'm
Yeah.
glad she protects herself. But they were not a match, and I
No.
don't think West deserved that lashing. I mean,
No.
although I would want Paige in my corner, I would want Paige talking for me.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
she's a good friend. I'll tell
She
you.
is a good buddy. And then I love that Jesse Solomon was like, listen, he tried to get in for his boy West, and they
she
were like,
cut him off.
shut up. Like,
You
they
need to
weren't
sh-
having
What did she
it.
say? You need to shut up.
She's
right
like,
now.
yeah. He's like, you might just tell me to shut up. Yeah, you need to shut up. I was like, yeah. And then Ciara's so beautiful that sometimes it's like takes my breath away. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my
like,
God.
how could one human being be this perfect?
Oh my! Didn't Nancy Cohen call her Naomi Campbell?
She's better looking,
She's
sorry.
even better. She's
But there
gorgeous.
she's
a she's a model.
But
She's stunning.
I'm not saying she's not a warm person when you know her.
Yeah.
But when you see her on TV, she does have that sort of disassociated, almost a coldness off of her.
Yeah, I think it's a protective thing.
It is. It's absolutely.
It's like a barrier she has
It's
up.
absolutely protective
Yeah.
because I'm sure she's
yeah.
with her friends, warm and lovely
Yeah.
and loving, but she
Yeah.
does come off, and you do feel that from her, even sitting in the living room. So
Yeah.
for her and West, who's like immediate, like lovey-dovey, we love him. Who is this crazy?
He's a
insane
bit. Well,
human?
how many times did he spoon her in that show? They were spooning every
I mean, I was
night.
like,
he was dying to sleep with her. She wouldn't allow it.
I know she
it
wouldn't,
was,
and so
you know-
he decided to sleep with other people, and then that's what they were pissed
Yeah,
about.
and that's the part that kind of surprised me.
But you
I
know what?
didn't know
They weren't.
Well, they were, yeah, but he was trying to get in there. Excuse me, he was trying to get in there, and
apparently he
knew
did.
He
He
could. I think
did.
he could tell, like, she's like, I'm looking for something,
And he got in there in October.
he got, yeah. He
So
did.
when she walked by him and he was like, yeah, I think it was
like,
more like,
whoa.
I think he was more like, I hit that.
yeah, I hit that. Yeah,
I hit that.
Yep,
You
yep.
know, and then what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because the other thing is, like, she met his family. She went
met-
as
and
a
the-
+1 to a wedding with him. I mean,
Yes.
it was like
And
it was
his
a
father
big deal.
loved her. His father
father
they own a
loved her.
ranch. He must be loaded. They own a ranch. His mother's
yeah,
a
I think his mom is a
doctor.
doctor.
So
yeah.
she's in medicine. I was like,
She's
just
in
say
medicine,
she's a
yeah.
Dr. West. Even though I still love West, I'm okay with it. I don't want there to be a. I think he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. I hope he comes back for the next
Oh,
season.
he's coming back.
He's coming
Are
back.
you kidding me?
He's coming back. I
And
like
so
him.
is-
It just probably isn't going to work between the two of them. I hope
No.
it doesn't. She needs somebody.
They are not right
else.
for each other.
They're not right for each other. Let them be friends.
He needs to be.
Let them be friends.
He needs to be the whirling dervish around Manhattan.
Okay, and let him flirt with her a little bit. That's fine. Okay?
And guess what? We
and
need
I
to
and
discuss.
I absolutely love Jesse Solomon. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, don't please. That's
Oh.
what I was going to say. You're reading my mind.
Oh God, he
You're
got me
reading
with-
my mind.
Oh,
And guess what's coming out?
What?
Guess
What
what's
a
coming
stud
out?
muffin.
He's
I
a
loved
stud
him.
muffin. Guess what's coming out on 6/13/24? That's this Thursday.
Yeah.
Q. What would Jesse Solomon do? At the end of the day, he's a really big dude. I know he says other things, but
You're a
I
better
hear
singer
dude.
than me.
I
I
hear
love
dude.
it.
My new friends. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He sealed the deal. for
when
me
he,
with that.
When he sang that song, it was such an icebreaker.
And he
there
knows
was a lot
he can
of
sing.
tensions going
So
on
he
at
knows
that
he
point.
can sing. So now he's
got
hot.
a great voice. Yeah.
He's got a big old mouth full of teeth. I like that. I love that
He's
too
got
many
a
teeth.
megawatt smile,
Yeah,
right?
I like that too many teeth look.
Like the male version of Julia Roberts. It's just like,
ting. But when he came out with that, and so he's
super cute.
So according to the fans wanted, what Jesse Solomon do? So on Thursday, it's being released.
I can't wait.
Come on. I'm singing it around my house all day.
God, yeah, they got
so
it out.
I don't know where. I guess it's going to be on Instagram. I don't know, whatever. But I'm sure
we're gonna listen
all
for
going to
it.
hear it. So
yeah,
maybe we all know the song. But let's see how it fares when it's released.
Oh, I think it's going to fare really well. Yeah.
So that's coming. All right. So
that was good.
One more thing before we hit Jersey, right?
Sure.
Let's just quick touch on the Traitors.
Oh,
the Traitors. Oh my God.
So we got a good cast here, right?
Great cast. Freaking Alan coming.
Oh God.
My God.
Him.
If this man doesn't win, I wish there could be the
could
greatest
he get an Emmy for this?
Yes, he needs to. Without him hosting, he comes out in the most fabulous outfits.
Yes.
And he's the Traitors. Oh my God, he's so good.
Well, he makes the show what it is, I think.
Let's discuss the cast real quick before we head into our Jersey recap.
We've got a large cast here.
Boston Rob.
Okay.
Boston Rob. First
Sorry
of all,
to say, I don't know who he is, so tell me.
Okay, he's a 2-time, maybe even a 3-time Survivor winner.
Okay.
He just was on Deal or No Deal Island, which I freaking loved. Mm-hmm. Howie Mandel, executive producer. He made it right down to the end of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's incredible. He's old now. He's almost probably 50.
Okay.
He does have a show on Friday nights about, he redoes homes in Boston and stuff. He's Boston Rob. The man is truly a Svengali. Like, he truly is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to play these games, manipulate people, but Deal or No Deal Island, fabulous. I loved it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Okay. So he probably really knows how to play the game. So
he's amazing. He knows how to manipulate people.
Okay, good.
He just does, and I love him.
He's perfect then.
And then we've got Clip. Clip Dorinda, who doesn't love Dorinda. I mean,
she is so clever. She will be good on that show.
If they pick Dorinda Medley to be a traitor, they're not going to pick her to be a traitor.
I'll tell you what, I'd be afraid of her.
She's going to be a faithful.
If I was in that cast, I'd be afraid of her.
The problem is,
Dorinda, get away from me.
Dorinda is going to have one too many drinks, and she'd be like, "You think I'm a traitor? Well,
God.
You're right.
Don't let her have any drinks."
But she's the
we
best.
Know she gets
I
activated
freaking
with the
love.
I love.
I would
Dorinda.
be the same way.
Her.
We freaking love Dorinda. So
absolutely love her.
Chriselle Strauss.
Okay, I love Selling Sunset.
I don't watch Selling Sunset. Tell me about her. She used to be married to Justin Hartley, right?
She
from
did.
Tracker.
Yes.
From The Family, This Is Us.
Yes.
From Old Days Passions.
Yeah.
For those that are really keeping track.
Very beautiful couple, but now she's married to G Flip, who's a she's a singer.
G-Flip?
She's
he a rapper?
Singer. I can't think of. Is she a rapper or a singer?
Wait, she's married to a woman?
She's married to a woman. Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, good for her. They seem very much in love.
So
it was a big part of the show. I mean, they showed it a lot in the last season of Selling Sunset. So she's good. She's very smart. She's like a bright bulb. I think she'll be good on that show. I like her.
I don't know too much about her, but I'm taking your word for it, and I'm sure she's going to be great. I should watch Selling Sunset before that goes on.
Oh, I would recommend it. It's a very good show.
Then we got Brittany Hayes from Big Brother. I'm not a huge Big Brother person, but I do.
Neither.
Daniel
I didn't
Reyes.
really get into the Big Brother arena.
RuPaul's Drag Race, as I am so ashamed of myself.
And I don't know this
I'm ashamed that I don't know that I don't even watch that. I
don't watch it.
I'm shamed by that, though. I should watch that, and it should be my favorite show on TV.
Yeah.
That for whatever reason, having kids, whatever, has gotten in my way. But Wells Adams from The Bachelorette.
Okay.
Wait, now Chanel Ayan from The Real Housewives.
You're
in Dubai. Was she on season 1 of Dubai?
Oh, she was. She's in now. Season 2 is going on right now.
Yes,
so,
yes, it's happening.
Yeah,
it's on all night
Chanel.
tonight, by the way. It's a Tuesday. I'm like, oh no, Valley. No more Vanderpump.
We're gonna go through a drought.
Dubai.
We're gonna go through a drought.
Dylan Efron Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
Okay, so this is Zac
Efron's
brother.
Oh God, kill me now.
It is, but I don't know the show. I don't know Dylan Efron. We all know Zac Efron, right?
Yeah, but
so this should be
it's
interesting.
like I don't know who Dancing with the Friends of the Friends of the Friends of the Stars. Tony Velachos, don't know him. Survivor. Jeremy Collins, Survivor. Not really. Dolores. I wonder if Paul would be there. Paul's
gonna be there for support.
He's gonna be in the background wearing black.
Where do they film the Traitors? They film it in Europe, right?
Scotland, in a
you
castle.
know Paulie's gonna be there.
In a castle. It is the coolest place. And then when they go at night under the cover of darkness, they go and they kill a faithful.
Oh my God.
And they wear these literally black cloaks over their head and hold lanterns. Listen, the only problem with it is that it's on in like March, April. This should be on around Halloween. It's the perfect Halloween show. Anyway.
Well, when is it going to start airing?
It will air not next year, March. Like it just aired.
All right, so they're filming it now,
good.
and then
every second of it.
We got to wait a bit.
We got our Dolores, then we got Robin Dixon from Potomac.
Love her. Well,
I
love Potomac.
Don't know her.
I'm a big Real Housewives of Potomac person. Love her. She's no longer on the show though. She was released, but she'll be good. She's pretty
Papa
good.
From The Biggest Loser.
Yeah, know him.
I used to work out with Bob. I used to work out with him. I used to work out at this place called the Fitness Factory, which is no longer there in LA.
Okay.
Every movie star went to this place.
Okay.
And Bob Harper also worked out there. And I met him a few times. What a nice guy.
He was a nice guy. He seems like he's a very nice guy.
Oh, what a honey pie.
Yeah.
And Ciara.
Of course, we were just talking about her. How do you think she'll do?
I don't know. I think, you know what? I would pick Ciara to be a traitor because she's very...
She keeps it close to the vest.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
There you go.
Somebody else from Survivor, Sam Ashgari, Britney Spears' ex. Like, seriously? Why?
What does
Go
he do?
away, Sam
He's
Ashgari.
a model, right? And he's Britney's... No, wait. Was he Britney Spears' ex-boyfriend or husband?
Husband. They were married
so they
for
were
a minute.
married.
Yeah, he was her boyfriend during the whole conservatorship taken away.
Okay, yeah.
Then they married, and then, of course, now it's like, bye, bye, bye. And then Tom Stinky Scandival Sandoval.
Of course. Well, you know.
But I was going to say...
He'll be good on there.
I would keep Tom around for the end. He's hated.
Nobody likes him.
He's a stinky bird. And
he's
a good shield. Like, if I was a traitor, I'd be like, I'm keeping Scandival around. So he's completely like, I would be like, Tom. He's a great person to, be around.
Okay, good. Let him get beat up a little bit.
So we went longer than we wanted to on that.
Right,
But there's like we said, there's a lot to talk about. And God knows that we love it all. So we had to mention a few things
we had
that
to
were
talk
on our
about
minds.
it. Of course.
Few things were on our minds.
Yeah,
all right.
some good news out there.
Let's get to Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Let's get into it.
Recap.
Here
we go.
Episode 6.
Mogs and Marriage. Season 14, episode 6. All right.
We know why, because that was a big topic on this show.
Margaritas,
about
marriage,
marriage.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about Shree's basketball outfit. First thing out of it. During the round robin, what does the Christian do? Do you mind? Should I wear this to the gym, Lou? Louie.
Well, she's got a killer body, right? So she had to strut out there and show her little body.
I'd give anything for Shree's elbow and tricep.
She's got some
I'd
muscles.
give anything.
We talked about this, right?
I'm coming out.
Even Louie was like, "Hello, hot
Louie
mama."
was like, "Damn, is that what I
yeah.
sleep next to at night? Damn."
He's a very
all right,
happy
so then
man.
it was the round robin, what's happening. We go to Melissa's house. She calls from college.
Yeah.
Have you picked your major? Excuse me, who's picking a major 2 weeks after they get to college?
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
know.
business management. You want a franchise?
Envy?
Of
That
course.
phone call just seemed a little...
Oh, God.
It didn't seem like a genuine, oh, my God, Antonia,
but wait,
I miss you.
And
How's
I love
it
Joey
going?
Gorga's like, who cares about the roommate? And she's like, my roommate's right here. And he's like, hi, JC. Or whatever. I just thought that was funny. Like, Joe, shut up, Joe. You dingbat.
Yeah, all right. So, but she does miss her girl.
She
does
does
say
now?
that because she's in a house full of boys now, including a dog.
Who she says,
wears a
I'm
diaper.
surrounded by pissing boys. That's right. So she misses her.
I can relate to her.
So I can relate to her, too.
I am in a house full of boys, including my dog.
I am in a house full of boys as well.
I know how that is. I know.
In their black and white house. Do you think Paulie was involved? Listen, I really think
Maybe he had something to do with
I really think you should make the shutters black and the doors black. I think you should make the floors black. I think you should make the countertops black.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But not so. I mean, right away she starts talking about the brunch.
Right away.
Right away she starts talking about what
Joe's
happened
behind the bar. Wait, did you notice he had a little bunny with like crossbones?
Yeah, what was that?
I'm always thinking, is that like a new brand that he's pushing? You know what I mean? I just thought it was
probably
funny. You know, Joe.
One of his many companies. He's got a couple of companies, I think. Oh, and then there was a nice scene though. Then it cuts over to Teresa. Teresa's cooking with Nicholas Louie's son.
Oh, that was cute. That's his autistic son.
That's his autistic son, and she's very tender with him.
Yeah, and I love how
she called him.
She called him baby.
She called him baby.
She's like, "Is that okay, baby?" Yeah. And then Kristen and I both have children with autism. My son has lots of other issues besides autism. We can get into that at another time. So we're super sensitive, and we do love that side of Louie too, and Teresa, that they are great parents to an autistic boy. So we love them for that.
Louie and Tree, they get major points.
We love it. We love that. We love Nicholas. We want more Nicholas.
We show more Nicholas, please.
We love him.
He's such an adorable kid.
Oh, what a cutie pie.
Cutie pie. Oh, and then Jackie comes over. So, this is the rekindled friendship between
Jackie
and
comes
Tree.
to Tree's.
She comes to Tree's house.
She comes to Tree's in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain.
Right?
She comes over. Yeah.
And then Jackie's excited to hang with Trees.
So she's
excited. And Audriana, now all of a sudden, Audriana's not doing dancing no more.
No, she's
volleyball. Now playing volleyball. Because she's probably like, Mom, please don't dress me in those outfits anymore, Mom. Like, I'm a teenager now. Do I have to wear those freaking ass outfits?
Do you know what was funny? And it was like a flashback. I was reading something in an art when she was born, because she was born on the show, Audriana, right?
Yeah. Oh, right.
In the hospital,
Dina Manzo's
she had
her
one of
godmother.
those like big girly like flower things on her head, and it was like a whole thing.
Right out of the womb. Right out of the room. Joe, get the flowers. Get the flowers, Joe. By the way,
very cute.
Just a side note.
Yes.
Dina Manzo is Audriana's godmother.
And she's in the news.
Right, because that's Caroline's brother-in-law, Tommy. I believe his name is Tommy Manzo.
Yeah.
Was found guilty for having him beat up in their home invasion.
Yeah.
And Caroline did.
They said something like he could face up to 4 decades in jail. Can you believe that?
And of course, Caroline and Dina do not mix.
Yeah.
So no, but she's out there with her.
So they're not on speaking terms anymore.
No, that's her daughter's. She only has the one daughter, Lexi. That's Lexi's dad.
Lexi, yes.
And the Manzos, Al Manzo's brother.
Okay.
All right, so we cut back to Joe and Melissa talking that Jackie's vibing with Jen and Teresa.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, what? What? How's it possible? Melissa feels like she's in the Twilight Zone, Joe.
Is she? Well, here was the funny part that Joe said. So he goes,
sorry.
Jackie is now going on Teresa's side, and Teresa loves Jackie because Jackie doesn't like Marge anymore. And then Joe says, that saying, what can you do for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
Janet Jackson, what have you done for me
have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
he got it a little wrong, but it was kind of funny.
Yes, he did, but it was funny.
It was funny. That was, I guess, how I was saying there's Teresa-isms, there's Joe-isms too.
Wait, this is what I love, though. Back at Trees.
Yeah.
Jackie was grateful Margaret wasn't there. And then Tree calls Margaret, Sherlock Holmes wasn't there?
Sherlock Holmes.
I love that she's calling her Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes wasn't there?
Well, I have to say, Tree is right. She is Sherlock Holmes.
She is. Well...
Jeez.
And Jackie is just over Margaret. Like, how many times can Jackie repeat the same schniznit?
Over
come on, Jackie.
I
don't know why Jackie is Jackie a friend?
Okay, she's a friend.
And I don't mind Jackie, but she just is not additive.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, cut back to now we're back at Joe and Melissa's house.
Yeah, I know. It was going back.
Tree
it was like
wants to be
simultaneous.
friends with Jackie because she's over Margaret. Gorgat says what we said. Now we're just going back and forth.
Back and forth.
She loves her friends to be independent. She really loves like
powerful women.
Yeah, powerful women. Okay.
So she loves powerful women.
And by the way,
she said Tree and Jen A are much lighter.
Yes.
So she likes hanging out with them.
Which I agree with.
I do too.
Because Jen Aydin's funny.
Yeah.
And
Jen Aydin is very funny. And Tree with her treeisms.
Tree just
we
like,
love her.
And I want to mention that. I want to mention when Teresa says she loves strong, powerful women, I do want to, as the grammar police sometimes, and I don't mean to, but Tree does get it confused between woman and women. She did use women correctly.
She did.
She did. So I wanted to, say good for you, Tree.
She did.
Okay,
it right.
good for you. And she's really proud of Jackie, and she thinks Jackie's amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're really on a good.
And they're lighter,
now.
as you said.
And they're lighter.
Jackie can't believe also that Tree called Fuda, which I'm now. For some reason, the other night when I was talking to my husband about the Fudas, I was calling them the Fupas. And then he's like, you realize you're calling them Fupa, don't you? So now they're going to be the Fupas. Fat under pubic area. But they're Fuda. Anyway, but I was calling them Fupas. And he's like, you realize you're calling them Fupa. It's not. It's Fuda. I'm like, oh, thanks, honey. Anyway, but she's like, she couldn't believe she called him a parking attendant.
But here's the thing. He really does have a company.
Oh, he does?
He does.
Oh, okay. So
I can't
does he have like a valet?
It's like a valet parking company.
That's a pisser.
So she was kind of right. Last week I was going, why was she calling him a parking attendant? Where is that coming from?
Why is it coming out of the blue?
He does have a parking company.
Oh my God, Kristen, that's so freaking
it's
funny.
Very funny. So it is a real thing. He's got a tile company too, which is a family business. And he's got this parking company.
He works his ass off.
He works hard.
He also works his teeth off because they're trying to get out of his mouth.
Well, yeah, the teeth are trying to fall out.
And then Tree does say, someone like that, I will chew up and spit out.
And you know what? She will. You know, Tree always chews them up.
Tree will end the fight.
You don't want to get on her bad side.
She has masticated her own. Is that the right word? Masticated? Chewed up her own family. What does she care about?
Yeah.
The Fupas.
The Fupas. We'll call them the Fupas. That's
funnier. Where are we going? Oh, and then we cut to Rachel FaceTime and Margaret.
Oh, hi. And she's in Charleston.
She's in Charleston.
Her 60th birthday.
Her best friend was turning 60.
And it looked very nice out there.
It did look nice. 12 yentas were off to Charleston. That's what she said, 12 yentas. And they were, by the way, did you see they were sitting in a hurricane? Did you see that they showed them all?
They were on the beach and some windstorm was going
Margaret, on. I don't think you should be on the beach. We're all sitting in a hurricane.
But Rachel was telling her about how Tree
about the bougie brunch.
About the bougie brunch.
If we
and
hear
how Tree
about
was, why did she weaponize John's past? And Marge said, "Is it Louie mooching off of Tree?"
Oh, that was right. Yeah, she said
made
something
some
to the effect
like
of
that.
Her husband is unemployed and mooches off of her.
And mooches off of her. Now, look. We say this again. I think Louie does have his company or companies. He's got some legitimate stuff going on. We don't quite know what they are.
We don't.
But yeah.
But we'll think. But
I don't know.
It does say, what's wrong with parking cars?
What's wrong with parking cars?
She said, isn't her husband unemployed and mooching off of her? All right.
She got it there on that day. But then we get to the fun part because we get to Dolores and Paulie.
Going
out to dinner. Oh, by the way, Dan, the place they were going to dinner, Dan, my husband Dan, he knows that place. He said it's really nice.
Prime? RP Prime?
Yeah. It's in Edgewater, I think.
I'm always looking at the restaurants because
me too.
Listen, we do. Listen, as a side note.
We're New Yorkers.
We're New Yorkers, but as a side note, Kristen, before we were off the pod, we were talking and we are possibly going to Rails like in 2 weeks.
We're going to Rails
if we can get the reservation.
If we can get it.
All right.
I know.
But I love that we get into the date night and Paul is behind Dolores and he's like, want to make sure the merchandise is good.
Okay, yes.
As she's walking up the steps.
He's
checking out her booty.
Did you notice too? So she was looking at Paulie going, why are you looking at your watch? You never look at your watch.
See, I think that's what pissed her off.
See what time it was.
But he's like, I want to see what I'm eating. No, but I love that she says, wait a minute.
We love Paulie's brogue, right? I love his
love
Irish
the brogue. And then, but he's like, just like you said, she never looks at, what are you looking to watch? Wait, you got somewhere to go, she says. And Paulie just looks at her and goes, what? With the way, what? Like, don't freak it started me, Dolores. He wanted to see what he was eating.
There was a bit of tension
going
in.
But I think
like right away, there was like a little bit of tension there.
But I think the looking at the watch is what just tweaked Dolores. She was like, you got somewhere to be?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're here with me. Where you got to be. And every time I see Paulie, I just want to say, every time Paulie moves his arms, they're sitting at the table, you see like a new tattoo. Like today I
noticed more tattoos too.
A crucifix.
Yeah.
Then he's got some sort of Arabic or Asian writing on one. Then he's got like some kind of lizard, or I saw half coming out of the.
Yeah.
Because he did have on a short sleeve shirt.
Yes.
It was black. He's got the black glasses, the black pants.
I noticed he's got one on his neck, and you know the clatter ring.
Oh,
like
is it
he's
the
got
Irish
a clatter
clatter
on his neck.
Oh,
I think that's what it. I think that's what it is.
My God.
I took notice of
Paulie.
it. Well, Paulie's very proud of his heritage, of course.
So yeah, I did want to say that, and then Dolores is like, "We'll have the mini gyros and the lobster mac and cheese, right, Paul?"
Well, he
Right,
can't
Paul?
eat meatballs. Remember,
is
she was
that what-
talking
oh,
about
right,
that.
yeah,
He can't eat Italian, so that's what he got. Perfect.
So she's like, "Oh my God, we haven't had a chance to talk with you. What's going on? The bougie brunch, right?"
And she was bringing up how
Frank's
the ladies were
engagement.
asking her, "Is Paulie divorced yet?" And she said no. And
She
then
doesn't want
Paulie gets a
anything.
little defensive.
No, but she says she doesn't want anything but these were her exact words.
Yeah.
But a piece of real estate and a little big ring.
Yeah.
A little big ring. And she's like, "Paulie, we're here.
She deserves it.
And we need to go here.
Yeah.
But you got to get divorced."
Yeah.
You know? And then Paulie was like,
he went into a whole thing about
"If I
that.
get divorced, babe, you think I'm going to get down on the knee the next day and get engaged? You think it's going to happen, Dolores? What the fuck? Are you nuts?" He didn't say that, but he was like, "You think I'm going to pop on my knee the next day?"
Oh, God.
And Dolores like, I'm not gunning to get engaged.
Yeah.
What's taking so long? Explain this to me.
Yeah.
Dolores is getting heated.
Yeah,
It's getting on my nerves.
And she said, he said, he goes, "You're getting angry." She's like, "I'm getting angry."
She's like, "It's getting on my nerves a little bit. I'm
getting
getting
on my
angry."
nerves.
And
Yeah.
then I do want to point out.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either.
No.
Because she did go through this with David, as she did mention.
Yeah,
who was,
they did a flashback of that.
And by the way, we always knew that
Oh,
David was never.
No.
Come on, David. Ugh, I hated him.
Oh, no.
But Dolores said, no.
I love her and Paulie together. I did not like her and David together. No.
No, David
Yeah.
was not even, he didn't know what he had until
Nah.
and Dolores.
She's the best.
She's the hottest and the best.
She's the
But
hottie.
I do want to say, Dolores, I'm pulling the grammar police card again. And she, another thing that I've heard on
best.
multiple reality shows. Okay, Dolores, she was like, "I'm getting frustrated." I hear this like, I watch Little People, Big World. Amy Roloff is
Yeah.
always very frustrated, not
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah.
They're frustrated. It drives me bananas. So I heard, and I
Frustrated.
rewound it 4 times, so I know she said frustrated. But she's like, I hate to be it, but she did say it. And then she started with the double blink. Like she was like, "Paulie."
Yeah, like
The
you know
double blink.
when a person gets
Pissed.
annoyed, the blinks start.
The
like,
double
yeah,
blink.
the double
like
blink.
Paul.
Like
Paul.
yeah.
I'm pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
again.
I think she never like ever really loses it. She always has a good way of
but she
maintaining her
was-
composure.
we were
so
seeing
she's
a-
kind of like, how am I going to maintain my composure?
we were seeing a bitchier side of our friend Dolores.
We
right?
were, and just well deserved. She needed to do that
She was like,
because
Paul.
Paulie's being, I think, vague with her.
I don't think Paulie's being that vague, honestly.
No?
Well, because if you listen to the rest of the conversation, she says, "You could solve world peace before you get divorced. What's going on?"
Yeah, she
and
did.
Paulie's like, "We're shifting through things. We have to separate about, our stuff, and it takes, 2 to 3.
To the tree,
3 years to go through things. Something for me, I think.
Yeah.
I've met her, really." And she's like, "What? You think? What? You think I'm not telling you the truth, Dolores?"
Okay, so she was mimicking his accent,
was
right?
great.
Because in a way, I was kind. You know how sometimes when you
She
hang
was
out,
being
when you hang out with
bitchy.
someone a long time, you
Oh,
pick up their
she
lingo
did
without
that to
realizing
bitch
it.
at him.
She did it to bitch at
She
him.
did it to be bitch. She was
Okay.
like, "I don't think you're not telling me the
You're
truth."
not telling me the truth.
And then she double blinked and gave the fake smile, like, "Paul, I will cut you,
Yeah.
Paulie. I will cut you.
Yeah, yeah.
You think I'm not telling the truth?"
Okay,
You
but
think-
Paulie did say, I'm being asked a question. I'm brutally honest.
Right, he said
So-
that. But then she said, "Look, I'm a
Okay.
very easygoing person."
Yeah.
Double blink. I'm like, uh-oh.
Very
Dolores
easygoing
is getting
person,
really pissed.
It's well on her mind. And here's the thing I'm going to say. I think my opinion is that she doesn't necessarily want to get married. I think at this point it's
Oh.
just just get a divorce.
Right. I think she does want to get married.
If he gets a divorce and there's closure with that part of his life.
I think she's just like, but what's the problem?
I think then they'll be on that new slate where they can go, okay, now we can figure it out, right?
But then she says,
but it's like a looming thing.
Yeah, no, and he's like, takes about 3 years. But then she was like, maybe I'll have to rethink this, Paul. And he was like, if you don't rethink it, you better rethink it, because if you don't rethink it, I'm not rethinking. So you better rethink it. Gosh dang it. You better sit down brutally fucking on it. Ask me a question, don't rethink. That's exactly what I heard. That's not what he said, but that's how I heard it.
That's how I heard it.
I don't think Dolores saw that coming, because he was like, I'm brutally fucking honest.
Yeah, really. He was feisty.
He was.
I don't think I've ever seen Paulie feisty.
But they're both the same. Like, she's got him playing Switzerland with the Fudas over there and Louie. So I was like, she's got him now playing Switzerland. I'm jumping ahead, but I'm like, these two really aren't. So it was kind of like a fight, but not a non-fight.
Yeah, it was.
And like, does he really want, does Paulie with his big black shirt and his big black hair and his black pants, do you think he really wants mini gyros and lobster mac and cheese? Like, that's not all he's eating. Like, he's eating like, a T-bone steak, as a snack. I don't know.
Steak
so
and
that
potatoes.
Was them.
Okay, so then we get to Danielle and New York Fashion Week, and she's getting all prepared.
And by the way, she made a Carrie Bradshaw reference, and I was like,
"Oh,
don't
she did.
defame Carrie Bradshaw,
right,
please don't mention yourself in the same sentence as Carrie Bradshaw."
Okay, she's not quite Carrie.
She was
Bradshaw,
bitching. There was so much to do. There was ironing. They were matching the clothes. Melissa was coming. Her mom's not coming. She's on the cruise. Who is she to take a cruise?
Her godmother's going.
Aunt
Danielle
Rose.
gave her age. She's 38. I didn't know how
38,
old she was. Because I was like, she looks so young to me.
I mean,
if she said I'm like 30, I would have believed it.
But
she looks good. But, she's very, and I say this as a compliment, she's very young acting. She's young.
Well,
she's young.
I don't know if I'd put it.
Fun.
Yeah, she is young. I think she's a little immature at times. But
Possibly.
whatever.
I
think she is funny.
But she's not ready to have her dad there because it's going to stress her out.
So no
we're
dad.
still talking about
of course,
the dad
no brother.
Bit.
Now we end up at Clubs for a Cause with Marge.
With Marge.
But
because Marge loves to give back.
But she
didn't she say that? Yeah. But she's giving back to first responders.
If you're watching us on YouTube, listeners, if you saw Kristen's face, it was so freaking funny. It looked exactly like Marge.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to mention that the Clubs for a Cause is to help first responders and their kids.
Yeah.
So you got to mention that, and you got to say, cheers, Marge.
Good for you, Marge.
Cheers, Margaret Jr.
We appreciate it.
Well, that's very nice. But I also want to mention
She's
that
got a heart.
In Marge's stand-up or her sit-down, that's called her interview. Yeah. She looked like she was wearing the puffy shirt from Seinfeld. I was like, it's the puffy shirt. She looks like Prince. I wasn't sure which way. But that was a little bit much. And I also, by the way, then they cut.
These confessional looks are interesting. Oh. Well, we know that number one is the big flower that Rachel wears, but we've talked about that already.
Or the Stevie Nicks, like,
oh my goodness.
Or the chandelier piece that Danielle is wearing.
Oh, and the one that Danielle's wearing.
But I want to mention when they do cut back to Marge, when she rolls up in the ponytail. She wore the ponytails like on the first season.
She had to do the
They
pigtails.
creep me out, those ponytails.
Well, I mean,
Marge
old do you get where you say
old?
Yeah,
and she's
never given up those pigtails.
When she tries to look like she's a teenager, I'm always like,
yeah. Well, they did a flashback and they showed her wedding with Joe Benigno, and she had pigtails.
Oh God!
No, stop. I'm pretty sure she had the pigtails.
That was pre-Wiglet.
So this is really like
pre-Wiglet.
This was pre-Wiglet. But she's really loving those pigtails. It's okay.
But I do want to mention her necklace that said "In Charge." Did you see her?
I didn't see that.
I was starting to sing, I want Marge in charge of me. Like the Charles in Charge theme. Marge in charge.
It's Marge in charge
of me.
Okay.
All right, so
she's an original. She really is.
She's an original.
Yeah.
I love Marge, though.
We love her.
Fudas show up. Gorgas show up.
Yeah.
They're going to pass out booze and cigars on the golf course with the girls. Okay.
Now, wait. Her drink is called Soiree.
Is that Margaret's drink?
I think it's Margaret's drink.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
It was non-alcoholic.
It's non-alcoholic.
Why is Marge pumping a non-alcoholic soiree?
I don't think she drinks.
Oh my heck!
I think I've heard
I
that.
would
Now,
think Marge was a
know.
drinker.
She's
Not
a
that she's
drinker.
boozed up, but
Yeah.
she likes a nice cocktail.
Yeah, I thought she did. Maybe she gave it up.
All right, then we cut to Fessler and Jen Aydin having lunch.
Yes.
Big fat margaritas.
Yeah, that they shared them. Now it's funny because
This is good wine.
Fessler doesn't usually like to share. Last season, she was telling Rachel, "I'm not a sharer," but here she was sharing a big fat margarita with Jen A. So
well, that's big fat.
She's
If
changing.
one of them drank that, Bill Aydin would have been attacked when she got home. She would have dragged him out of the pool house and been like, "Get over here and have
that
sex
was like
with
the
me,
size
Bill."
of a fish tank. That
It was huge. It's like one of those you get at like
you
the
gotta share
Chinese
that.
restaurant.
You can't drink that on your own.
We used to, when I was younger, we used to go to the Chinese restaurant and get these things called scorpion bowls, and we'd put like 6 straws in them, and we'd all be smashed.
Oh,
'cause
that
were
sounds like
huge.
fun.
They were huge.
Oh God.
So I don't know, you know,
but they did bond when they went to Ireland last
yeah,
season, so
and
they
sat
became like
next
fast
to each other.
friends.
And
They sat
Aydin
next
loves
to each other.
Fessler, and Fessler loves Aydin,
And
and they have
Tere-
chemistry.
Yes, they have chemistry.
Yeah.
And she told Fessler that Teresa loves her too.
Yes.
So, yeah, she's
Tree
really trying
loves
to,
you.
promote this. I mean, I think it is a genuine friendship that's forming, but Jen A is definitely trying to promote
Yeah,
that.
she's got it. Listen, Aydin knows that if Tree's not on her team, all her airtime goes out the window.
She's done.
So she gets it.
She is Tree's wingman. Or should I say
Yes.
wingwoman?
Wingwoman, yes.
She's Tree's wingwoman through and through.
And by the way,
yes.
Tree needs a Jen Aydin as a
She
wingwoman. She
does.
legitimizes. She makes her fun and funny, and like
Yes.
she's quick and smart.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Not that Tree's dumb, but she does need somebody who's a little bit on it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
then we got. So I love that Melissa blocked Jen on social media. She's like, but we have a clean slate, but it's
Okay.
not like spick and span clean. She's
Yeah.
like, but I'll take it. I was like, all right. All right.
So yeah, they're talking about their coming to amends.
Now we cut back to Marge and the gals at the golf course.
All right.
Clubs for a cause, and they're
Yeah.
passing out the soiree.
Yes.
And then they were like, let's park here
Mm-hmm.
under the tree.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were all talking. I love, though, that Marge is in pink or purple, and they're all in green, like in the outfits.
Yeah.
Like
Was Marge wearing a different color?
Marge was wearing not the soiree outfit.
Oh, she
like, I
wasn't
love
wearing
that
the
Marge
soiree.
always has to be like a step above.
Well, she has
like,
to stand out.
right.
You know,
like,
she's
I'm
the
not
leader
wearing
of the
my
pack.
uniform. I'll have my minions wear the
Of
uniform.
course.
I'm
well,
wearing
she needs her
her
minions.
in charge necklace.
Yeah.
Marge in charge.
That's why it said in charge. That makes perfect sense.
So the girls are in the green.
Yep.
Marge is in charge. They park under the tree. Dolores is there too, of
Dolores
course.
starts talking about Paulie and
Melissa's talking about the housewarming when she invited Jackie.
Yeah, she
and
had
then
to
I love
mention
that
that.
Marge says you have to invite Jackie, or she'll spiral into her darkest hour.
She had to throw that dig in. Of course, Jackie's going to fall apart if she doesn't get
I'm
invited.
sorry, Marge makes me freaking hell.
No, she does have these digs that are funny.
She's
I
just
have to
funny.
say.
She's just
She is
hilarious
funny.
with the big ass glasses that are literally look like ice skating rinks on her freaking face. Like, come on, Marge.
Oh my
She
God.
also invited Jen Aydin. They're starting fresh to the housewarming.
Yes.
So.
Oh, and just going back really quick, Jen A told Fessler that she told Teresa she was invited, but she didn't tell Teresa she was going.
right. She
So
said
that's
going to
be another
better
thing.
Tree doesn't know.
Maybe it's better Tree
She
doesn't
said it's
know.
better. She doesn't know, but she said
Yeah.
that Tree told her you got to do what's great for you.
Yeah, right. So maybe Tree will support it. We'll see.
Mm.
But then, okay, so then we get through that. We're
So
talking
there's-
about the housewarming.
We cut back to the girls having the mog.
Yeah.
Fessler, how is Teresa handling you being friends with Melissa?
Right.
That was kind of the gist.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
she's just like you said.
Yeah.
She's better. She doesn't know.
Better she doesn't know. And then Fessler goes to, I'm kind of going through a similar thing with Rachel. Because
Right.
Rachel's not wild about me being friends with Tree. And then they're basically saying it's a bummer being in the middle like
Fessler
this.
says, right.
Because
And
they're
why
both
did it have
sort
to
of
get to
like
this?
in
Yeah.
between both sides, right?
Right.
So it's
And then
tough.
they talked more about
You got strong
Danielle set up
personalities.
because Alina, the hairdresser. I'm like, can we
Oh,
stop with
can we
this
stop
freaking
talking about
conversation?
that?
And then, but she did say, which was interesting, that
Yeah.
Tree was calm with Rachel. She was more triggered by Danielle.
Yeah. So, what do you think that is?
I don't know. I think that, honestly,
Mm.
I don't know.
What is going on in Teresa's head
I think Teresa's probably thinking ahead, like, I want to clear it up with them.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to bash on Danielle.
Okay.
Because I think she's thinking like 2 steps ahead. Like, next episode or next time I'm going to try to clear it up with the fupas.
Yeah.
So after fupa, I'm just going to get over on Danielle. Like,
and
shut
also,
the
I
hell
think
up.
we were saying too, Tree is tired. I think she's getting really worn out by all this.
Exhausted.
So this fighting.
She's exhausted.
She's exhausted. Oh, God.
So we're back.
All right.
We're back to the golf course, clubs for a cause.
Yeah.
Melissa says you missed a hell of a brunch to Margaret.
And it was a shit. She literally said it was a shit show. Which
Rachel said my tank is empty.
My tank is empty.
All right,
I have nothing left to say about it. Too much other shit going on in my life. My tank is empty. And then again, Dolores brings up Paulie's divorce. Paulie is
cut to the guys. Right?
They're playing golf. The guys.
Oh my God.
Now this is kind of funny. But what is it about asses with these guys?
Because
they were doing ass shots a few episodes ago. Now they're doing ass butts.
I mean, they're a little too interested. That's all I'm saying. They want to know more.
With hairy asses.
They want to know more about what goes on with a man's ass.
But it's so funny. Joe B puts the tea in his butt crack.
Well, wait. Before that, though, Joe Gorgas says,
"Oh yeah,
is Dolores writing you about the divorce?"
Yeah.
And then Paul's like, "Wait." He's like, "Nah, Dolores is happy. She knows it's going somewhere, and it's all she cares about."
Feisty Paul again.
Right, and then Paul. Oh, but I did want to mention that before we get to the teas in the ass, I did want to mention, as you brought up a second ago, Paulie is wearing a light blue shirt.
I didn't pay attention to that.
He had a light blue shirt on. He's broken out of the black for a half a day.
He put his golf gear on.
So Marge was, but then before we do the asses, we cut back to Dolores, and she's like, Marge's like, I moved on 1 week after my divorce.
This was so funny to me.
With Jan. Okay, I got a divorce. I was in Vegas a week later.
Divorce, I got married. And then what did she say? Which I'm really,
Paulie,
Marge,
come on, get those papers. You. Get to the altar.
She's like, come on, Paulie. She
snaps
snaps her fingers.
And so
Dolores doesn't want to talk about bigger things until the divorce happens.
Yeah, bigger things. And then they cut back to Paulie, who's like, I'm moving my office from the city to Jersey. We're going into business with Dolores. And then Fupa's like, oh, welcome to Jersey.
Welcome to Jersey.
Yeah, we're going to start flipping houses. And then Joey Gorga going, listen, Dolores does not want to work. I've known her since I'm 3 years old. She wants you to go to work.
Yeah.
And
she wants a Rolls Royce.
Right. She wants to drive the Rolls Royce that you're paying for. And then he's like, but they're building a future together nonetheless. There she is, such a future.
So Paul is thinking more business, and Joe Gorga's like, no, she's not about the business.
Why does Paul want to start a business with her? Like, doesn't Paul have a lot of money? Like, can't they just retire on Paul's 3-year divorce money?
Well, here's what I'm going to ask, too. Is the reason why he's not getting divorced yet, could it be about money? Maybe
Paulie isn't as rich as his black countertops would have us believe.
He's protecting his finances. Yeah.
Now, my friend Kristen, we can get to, I just wanted to throw that, we can get to the teas and the asses.
Okay.
The teas and the asses. Classy. Teas and the asses. Classy men.
Oh, we love it.
So why do we feel like I feel like they make fun of Paul Joe Bonino.
I think they do.
I feel like
why was he the one?
Why did he have to have the tea in his ass?
Yeah, why him?
And by the way, I wouldn't trust Joe Gorga with holding my drink, never mind putting a freaking a tea in my ass. And then when he did his backswing, he hit the pin in the hole.
No, this is what scared me. Joe B rolled over. I was like, that thing's gonna go right up his.
And he's like,
oh, like he's gonna pierce.
He's like, the tea's still in his ass, and then he's like, you scumbag.
Oh my God!
And then Joe,
be careful.
Joe was like, this is what happens when you suck at golf.
And this was actually kind of funny because then John Fuda made a joke about the dildo.
Right. He's like, well, then why is
another
Fuda?
Ass thing?
It's like Chooch number 1 and Chooch number 2. Why is now Fupa on the floor with his ass out? And it was so funny when he was like,
he likes a double-sided dildo.
Exactly. And he was like, I'm already accused of dildos in my ass.
Why not?
Enough rumors out there. I'm like, this is a classy group of guys.
Okay, this is why we do love the New Jersey house husband.
But I also like the technique that Fuda had. Like, he's done this before. He had his his like 2 fingers around the T on his ass, like, so it was gonna hold it in place. Like, it wasn't gonna be like, poor Joe Bonino's probably freaking whipping splinters out his ass. Margaret's like, Joe, there's another splinter in your ass. Come on, Joe, there's a splinter in. Let me get it out. Those two were popping splinters.
That was funny. That was really funny. Oh, and then it ends with Marge. She's texting and driving,
Hilarious.
and she hits. What did she hit? Another golf cart?
She has an accident. They're like, who put Margaret?
She doesn't even seem phased. She's like, oh yeah, I just hit somebody. Haha.
Why are you texting Marge on a golf cart?
Who is she texting?
Can we just say before we
Please
flip and keep going, because was this the longest freaking episode in Real Housewives of New Jersey history? I mean, granted, they did give us a lot of
hour,
info,
but it felt like it was longer.
It was an hour and 15 minutes.
It was an hour and 15.
But
That's
there
why.
was a lot of exposition. There was a lot of expository information.
There was a lot going on. You know what it is? They got to cram a lot in.
But last week there was nothing. Last week was a dead episode.
Yeah. I don't know about the editing.
We're almost
so
to
much
the
on
sit down.
show.
We're almost to the sit down.
We're almost to the sit down. We're going to get to fashion,
right?
New York Fashion Week. So
the Boujie Kidz Fashion Week show.
The kids were absolutely adorable.
So cute. Valentina.
So cute. And it was really funny when Danielle made some kind of fart joke to one of the kids.
I have it.
To lighten the
I have it
up.
in my head. I can't stop. No, but the first,
what
I wanted to say. Wait, what I wanted to say first.
She tells one of the girls, smile, or else I'm going to fart in your face.
Smile or I'm going to fart in your face. That's what she says to this poor little Asian girl who's probably like, where's my ice cream cone you promised me? You know. But then I love that Danielle walks in and she's like, oh my God, this is so profesh.
This is so real. Profesh.
She doesn't say profesh. It's so profesh. I hope they like it. And then
it was cute.
I don't know. So she tells the girl, fart in your face.
Fart in your face. And Melissa arrives with her cousin Nick.
And cousin Nick, right, who we saw a couple in the episodes. We were like, who's that?
Her
gay cousin Nick, right?
Yes.
And then Dominic and Nate show up with flowers, and they've got matching black blazers with black pants and white t-shirts.
With all that support.
Yeah, they woke up or whatever. Melissa.
But it was very funny how the fashion show started out, and then Danielle says,
oh my God,
comparing it to a Marie Antoinette version of the Nutcracker, because it was like very elegant and ballet. And
yes, it was. She's like, where? She was like, where the fuck am I?
Where am I? Oh my God, how am I going to follow up?
She was like, wait, and then she was like, the music is classical. I have EDM for my music. Wait, who is EDM? That's me being old and out of touch.
I'm old. I was going to say, I don't know who that is.
But I got to say, I'm pretty good with pop culture.
You are.
I would like to know who EDM is. If anybody knows, let us know.
I'm going to look it up.
And then all of a sudden, Boujie Kidz was up.
Yeah, they were up and they were out
stuff.
strutting their stuff. They were adorable. The
Valentina
outfits were
crushed
very
it.
She killed it. She closed the show. I think she closed the show.
She was like Danielle was like, the cheering hits every emotional part of my body. She got choked up.
She was like, don't worry. It's all good. You know, she was all happy.
Can we also discuss her feathered blazer and her feathered white pants?
I did like the look on her.
I did too.
It works for her.
I can't believe it.
I could never wear that and get away with it.
But I was like, look at the feather.
She looked fabulous.
The feather on one. Well, the feather's only on one leg or two.
I think
it was on one side of the lapel.
Oh,
maybe on both.
Okay.
Pants. But I was like, I can't believe I like this. What I would normally think was the cheesiest outfit ever.
It was cheesy, but it looked good on her. And let's face it, she made it. I think that was her whole thing. I made it.
And Aunt Rose, of course, was there.
Yeah, Aunt Rose.
But her mother was on. But her mother was on a cruise.
She was on a cruise,
and
in
her
Europe.
father's dressing around. So
exactly.
All right, next.
Okay, so that we
Trey
go
and
to
Louie
Trey
are
doing
stretching
yoga.
in the yard. They're stretching.
They're stretching, and what are they? They're releasing endorphins.
Oh, this is my favorite.
I think it's like. To me, was this the morning of the big event?
Yeah, this was.
So they had to do yoga to calm themselves down.
But she was like, "Don't let anyone take our peace." As he cracks the shit out of her back, like she's like, he's crying. And he's like, "Ugh." I'm like, "Oh my God!" And then of course, she cracks his back.
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, my pee-pee went in your
back,
face. Something about his pee-pee went in her face.
Okay.
And then she said, we're releasing endorphins.
We're
we're going to keep calm so no one disturbs the pace.
Exactly. And it looks like Paulie brokered this get-together. Paulie.
Paulie, yeah, on face.
On
See,
FaceTime.
that's what I mean by
he was talking with Fuda at the golfing event about
right, because he's close with Louie.
And that he's close with Louie.
But
so he was saying to Louie, you got to get together. And
that's what I mean about now. Dolores is making him Switzerland. They're both sort of Switzerland because he's got to like Paulie is broken and shit.
Way through both of these
Paulie
guys.
is broken and shit now. he's probably like,
broken
why
and
the fuck am I doing? God damn it, Dolores.
But we got to thank Paulie for this gathering.
Yeah, so
because
Paulie,
he's the one that put it together.
It was all done in FaceTime.
It was all done in FaceTime.
But I love that when they get to Rachel and Fupa, the Fupas, she calls him Johnny Soprano because he had on the black Adidas sweatsuit. She's like, oh, hi, Johnny Soprano.
Do you get the feeling that John Fuda thinks he's a soprano? Because I'm getting that feeling.
I do.
He thinks in his mind he's a soprano.
And it's like,
all right.
By the way, yeah, not the Sopranos.
Not quite.
Yeah, not in the mob. He would be, I said, like, listen, I'm sure Fuda's a good egg, right?
Yeah, I think
But
he's
I don't think he'd be
guy.
much more qualified than to throw some mayo on the sandwich and bring it to the boss. You know what I'm saying? Not that he's a bad dude, but the way he was talking at that sit down, he's not a boss. He's not the boss.
He's not the boss.
He is not the boss.
But he was acting like the boss at this what was it, a lunch or a dinner that they met? I guess it was a lunch.
It was they met they just met and it was a private room.
It was it was in a private room. Yeah.
Well, but the best is I love that Tree. As Paulie's the mitigator, right? They're showing Tree talking. She's like, John Fugazi, he's got a lot of balls, asking for an apology. Oh my God, his balls.
The thought of his actual balls.
She gags the ball growls. Okay, I was like, all right.
So I guess it was her way of saying she's kind of grossed out by him.
Wait, but then
is that what she's saying?
Yeah, she's saying like, oh my God,
like
the thought of his balls, like, not the thought of Louie's balls would make me want to gag as well, like Louie's whatever his cojones there. But wait, this is my favorite though. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, Tree was like, they were all talking about how he was the drug dealer, not he is a drug dealer. And I'm like, oh my God, do not talk to Teresa about verbs, okay? This is not her. This is not her forte. This is not her strong suit.
Yeah.
Do not be talking about was
Don't
or
pick
is
words apart with
or
Trey.
Currently. Do not. This is not the woman's strong suit.
No, it's
all right?
not.
Don't talk about verbs.
So we can't hold that against her. We really can't. Although I think that if we go back to episode 1, she did say, I heard your husband was the biggest drug dealer.
Correct. And
so
then they say, but what verb did she use? And I say, stop talking English grammar with Tree. Mm-hmm. It's not going to work out. But wait, the best is when they were doing the back and forth between Louie and Tree, I love that they said, they don't want to see, they don't want to see the old Teresa Giudice. No. And he says, and then Louie says, or the old Louie who feeds 2 wolves every day. Which one am I gonna feed today, Tree? Which one?
Well, meanwhile, I'm fast forwarding ahead a little bit. Louie didn't say a word through this whole thing. He was just
doing his
quiet.
best fucking Zoolander.
His kind of like intense look on his face, but he didn't say
No, he's
anything.
doing his best Zoolander. Like, is my lip better curled up? Is my lip better done? Should I put up one eyebrow? And then I also saw a meme online that they've got him now side by side with the Grinch.
You're kidding? Oh God, that's actually kind of
they're
funny.
Like, tell me you. I think it was one of those. But all right, so we finally get to this freaking sit down. We finally
they get 2 shots of tequila. This is John and Rachel.
Yeah, she wants lemon with hers.
She wants a lot of lemon.
She wants a lot of lemon.
She wants a lot of.
Now wait.
And then Tree walks. Yeah, go ahead.
She walks in with, like you said, with the.
She walks in, which was interesting.
With
she
the
walked
blue
in
label.
with a gift.
With the blue label.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it can go up to like
$2,000
a bottle.
Yeah.
It's like $400. It can be $2,000. It's Johnny Walker blue label.
Okay.
But I also want to also point out that she said, can you please give that, which was weird. Can you please give this to my brother?
Yeah.
Not give it to Melissa.
No.
Give it to my brother.
Melissa is dead to Teresa, I think.
And RP Prime, you mentioned that before, where they were. Is this now a place we're going to have to visit?
Yeah, we're going to have to visit this place, definitely. But by the way, on Watch What Happens Live, Teresa said it was Louie's idea to give the gift. So
yeah, she goes, that's my Louie.
That's my Louie.
He's so thoughtful.
He's so thoughtful.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like, let me bring the blue label.
Okay, bring the blue label.
But, you know, Teresa is so funny because she's all about a gift. She's all about the proper.
Yeah.
You think about all her parties and the elaborates and the bows and the, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that is Tree.
That is
I don't think it's Louie, but I think it's Tree.
But I will say this. Did it make them kind of look like the better people? A little bit. I wasn't invited to the housewarming, but please give my brother a gift.
But listen, Tree and Louie.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Louie before even Tree.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything without thinking
a
about
motive.
How am I going to look? Exactly. What's my motive?
There's an agenda behind
There's
that.
a freaking agenda you read about.
So they're sitting there with Mr. Soprano. And Mr. Soprano says, who's going to start?
Oh, no, I love that he says,
we're going to call John Soprano.
Johnny Fupa Soprano.
Johnny Fupa.
Sitting down today, I have respect for you, bro. He's a good guy. And then I just love that he's got the Italian horn sticking out of the shirt. I just thought that was very poetic.
And did you see
Italian
kind
horn.
of like his stature? Like he was sitting there like, all right, let's go.
Listen, you're not
Tony
Soprano. It's more like you're El Chapo.
Yeah, right?
Okay? You're the drug dealer from 17. You're not a drug dealer currently. You were 17 selling weed. It's not a big deal. We know you're not a drug dealer, but you're not El Chapo either.
Dealer.
You're not El Chapo either, okay?
Okay.
So,
but he did say, he did make a point. I wouldn't probably be sitting here if it wasn't for your brother, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. That was good to say.
And then Tree's like, well, Louie told me you have a tremendous amount of respect for me.
Yeah, right.
Louie
so
said.
Trey basically right away said she didn't say he was a drug dealer currently. Someone from his past told her about the drug dealer. And
currently or was?
Was.
Again with the verbs.
What's the verb?
Do not ask Tree to talk in verbs or plurals. It's not going to go. It's not going to go well.
She might not get that totally
Please
right.
don't ask her about verbs.
But it looks like she got that info from his ex.
Correct. But she was like, no. But I do want to say.
Yes.
I do want to say.
Yeah.
That I think Tree did apologize. She did apologize. I thought he didn't just think it was authentic.
This is the part that bothered me about Fupa or Fuda.
Okay?
Let's
just call him
he
the
kept
Fupas.
saying,
Let's call him the Fupas.
I want an apology. And she apologized, but she wasn't taking it. This isn't
authentic. Well,
okay.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
okay.
Tony El Chapo Soprano
Did he want
Fupa.
her to get on her knees and go, I am so sorry for what I said. I take it back. I so apologize.
And
then Rachel said it's already in the universe.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
She was like, but it was already out there.
Yeah.
It was out there.
It was out there. You put it out into the universe. So do you want an apology or not?
But I also thought that
I don't know.
Fupas went in there.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to make up. Because if they make up, then what is their storyline?
I think
they're fighting with Tree.
That's the storyline. That's the storyline. I think this was all about control. Like, I'm going to control Teresa. I'm going to make her apologize to me. And if she doesn't apologize to me, we're walking out of here.
And then he pulls another mafia move. I'm going to Fupa. He says, I'm going to redirect the conversation right here. Okay, I'm going to redirect the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. It's about control, I think.
Right. He's El Chapo, right? He says, he lost, and he really lost me when he's like, that crazy woman, my ex, she took the wheel at me at 55 miles an hour.
Broke my femur bone.
Yeah, broke my femur. Put me into a telephone pole.
No, I mean, look.
Which is terrible.
God was watching him.
Oh, but that's when he lost me, when he was talking about God. You can't talk about Johnny Soprano and then talk about God.
God was watching me.
Right. I was like, all right, he's lost me now. He's lost me. And I'm sure this woman is insane.
No, she is. I mean, what did he say? That she manufactured crystal meth, and then Teresa said,
don't
talk about his mother, and then Rachel said, I'm his mother, nice to meet you.
Oh, right, I'm Jaden's mother,
I'm Jaden's mother, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
She did adopt Jaden officially, so she is officially his mother. So I understand that, and I guess guess, Jaden's birth mother does have some problems, of course.
Right.
And I think
she also is in prison currently.
She's in prison. So here's the one thing I'll say for both of them. This is a triggering thing. This is like
of course,
a hard
especially
pass.
for Jaden.
Him and his
especially
son.
for Jaden.
Jaden went
which
through
we feel
a
bad
lot.
for Jaden because we
So
love
I think
Jaden.
this is a little triggering for him in that sense. So I understand why he's upset. However,
right, I'm
the
listening.
apology came out. She said,
But
I'm
I thought
sorry.
she apologized.
He didn't want to hear it. He was
did.
talking over her.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I don't think he wanted to hear it from the minute he walked in the door.
No, he didn't. So I don't know what the purpose of that whole lunch
and then he was
was.
like, it's done. I'm getting
We're
up.
out.
When I make a deal, it's a deal. I was like, what are you? What's this,
And
a
then
Ravenite social club? Are you John Gotti?
And
What are
then
we talking about?
She brings up, well, you hurt Louie's business, and then he
Right.
goes, is this a tit for tat?
And you
So it
you
was
owe
like-
Louie an apology. You hurt his business.
You hurt his business.
No, he
and-
didn't. Tree says you threw the first punch.
Yeah. Now, here's one thing, and I heard this on a podcast. I heard
Talk
it
to
on
me.
the Two
Talk
T's
to
in a
me.
podcast with Tamara and
Two
Teddy.
T's and a
Two
pod
T-
and a T.
Because I was wondering too, why did she say by John Fugazi?
Fugazi means
Fugazi
fake.
means
fake
in
fake
Italian.
Remember we talked about this last podcast?
Yeah, okay, we
Fugazi.
did. Fugazi.
Fake. I
It's
love what she
fake.
calls him, John
Because
Fugazi.
at first I said, is that his real last name?
No.
No, I should know this.
You should know this as an
means fake,
Italian
as an
girl
Italian
yourself.
myself. I should know.
So
So-
then he says, he gets up and he says, all right. And she goes, see you, John Fugazi. And he said, you're the poster child of mortgage fraud. And she says,
Drug dealer.
drug dealer.
Drug dealer.
But I love
And
that.
then he
I
goes,
love
when
that
he
she
needs
just,
his money laundered, he'll call her.
even better.
So they're taking
But-
cheap shots
But I
back
love
and
that
forth.
she just apologizes for calling him a drug
dealer,
dealer.
and
And
she
then in
calls
2
him a
seconds,
drug
drug dealer. Drug dealer. Yeah, when I need my money laundered, I'll call you.
I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry. Drug dealer.
I'm right. And again, what we mentioned 2 seconds ago, Louis sat there all charred and red like he just came off the grill.
Again, now we're
Not
talking
a
this whole time.
peep.
Not a word.
Not a peep.
He didn't say anything. Now, maybe that was a good thing. Because
Zoolander. He has
if
a
he got all,
Zoolander on.
into it and there was yelling. Could have been yelling and
Well,
screaming.
he did.
So maybe he kind of like tamed
Listen, I don't
himself.
think Louis is this smart. But I do think he kind of let Fuda hang himself a little bit, like he's this big mobster. Like I was like, all right, it's actually good. Right, just like you said.
I think it was
it's
a
kind
good
of
thing.
good. He let him just shut up.
Maybe that's why. Because we've seen Louis go at it. He's gone at it with people.
Well, Louis,
So-
he's still, namaste bitches. He's still like, Tree.
And I'm going to give Tree something too. She handled herself
I thought
well.
she was good.
She was good. She didn't get lit up.
If it was me,
she kept her
I would have
composure.
accepted her apology because I really.
would have
She
too.
said she felt a connection with them.
She did.
So I really.
She was trying there.
I really thought she was.
I
trying
was-
to.
I
And I
did
think,
too.
as we also say, we think Tree's exhausted.
I
She
think
doesn't
she's
want to.
tired.
She's tired, and she doesn't want to fight with everyone.
So if I have to pick who was the winner and who was the loser out of this fight, I would
Winner,
say
loser.
Tree is the winner.
I agree.
And Fuda was the loser. And it was really between Rachel wasn't saying much either. So
And then
it was
it-
really between Tree and Fuda.
And she's like, you fucked with the wrong girl. And he was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I love a
I
good
love it.
fight.
Yeah.
As he's going down the steps.
I'm telling you, some big fight.
She's like, I'll end it or whatever.
Yeah.
Blah. And you said the money launder line. And that was that.
And it was to be continued.
And it was the longest freaking episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey I think I've ever watched. But
That was a
it
long
was,
one.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. I think they added that extra 15 minutes because of this fight.
It took
at
a
the
minute
end.
for us to get through it. But
Ugh.
and then Tree was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And they did. It was funny. They just one thing before
It was a good one.
before we wrap it up. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
when
I did.
When
I
they
did.
did the whole thing about what, I don't know, what would you rather do than be with Melissa?
Everything was other than Melissa.
Get back together with Joe Judice.
said
Or
yes.
hang out with Melissa. Get back together with Joe. I mean, it was just like no matter what it was.
What was
So
the one she would listen to? Whatever Melissa's
on display.
on display. She would listen
On
to
display,
that.
on display, on display.
And
But
be
she said it was about her anyway, which
Because
I
it was
didn't.
about her, which was a good comeback.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
She's like, sure, it was about me anyway.
It was about me anyway. She's got some good ones. We love her.
All right, listen, we have.
Oh, this was
we
a long.
have-
I'm sorry, we went a little over
But
this
this
time.
is
but
great.
This was
No,
a
we're
lot to
not
talk
over, but there was a
about.
lot to talk about,
There
a
was
lot to cover.
There was a lot to cover.
I'm going to start calling you Kristen Fugazi.
Can you
Hey,
please?
Fugazi.
I
What's
try
going on,
not to be
Fugazi?
fake, but you can call
I
me
try
Kristen
not to
Fugazi.
be Laura Fugazi either. But if we're ever being fugazi, we should just, hey,
we're going to
fugazi.
call each other out when we're being fugazi. So that's going to be my new line when someone's fake.
Exactly.
I
You're
like it.
Hey, fugazi.
Fugazi. You're fugazi.
All right, listen. So we're going to say farewell for now from the living room.
Yes.
And we will see you next week. And we just want to say thanks for listening.
Thank you
and
so
we
much.
listen, we're available wherever you get your podcasts. And if you could go to Instagram and go to Littler Podcast. It's Ladies in the Living Room, LITLR Podcast. And please keep listening. We're so thrilled to be hanging out and doing this with you guys. And we'll see you next week, Kristen.
We will see you next week.
We'll see everybody next week.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
All right, good night.